She's on her knees in the dust, pushing through a wall of legs and elbows, reaching for one thing, the hem of a stranger's robe. For 12 years she's been bleeding. 12 years of doctors who couldn't help her, money spent down to nothing, and a body the law calls unclean. Under that law, she can't sit where others sit, can't worship where others worship, can't touch anyone without making them unclean too. 12 years of being defined by one word: untouchable. She wasn't just reaching for a healing. Whatever she found at the end of her fingers was going to have to fix more than her body. Here's what should stop you. This is not a story about a magic trick in a crowded street. This is not a story about symptoms disappearing. This is not a story about luck. Her fingers touch the hem, and instantly she feels it. She is healed. We'll come back to her, because to understand what just happened to her, you have to see the pattern first. A leper comes to Jesus, someone the law requires to live outside the camp, shouting, "Unclean," so no one gets close enough to catch what he has. Jesus doesn't step back. He reaches out and touches him. "I will," he says, "be clean." And he is. A blind beggar named Bartimaeus sits at the edge of Jericho's gate, invisible to everyone walking past. Jesus stops in the middle of a crowd and calls him forward by name. Bartimaeus can see, and the very next thing he does is follow Jesus down the road, no longer sitting on the edge of anything. A synagogue leader named Jairus watches his daughter die. Jesus walks into that house, takes her by the hand, and tells her to get up. Then he says something almost too ordinary for the moment. Give her something to eat, not a grand gesture. Just a girl, home, at the table, where she belongs. Notice what's happening underneath every one of these. Jesus isn't just fixing bodies. He's touching exactly what everyone else had agreed was too dangerous, too unclean, too far gone to touch. And every single time, the healing sends someone back into a family, a community, a table, a road they'd been shut out of. Now, go back to the woman in the dust. Jesus stops. In front of the entire crowd, he asks who touched him. She could stay hidden. Instead, she comes forward, trembling, and tells him the truth. And Jesus calls her one word he uses for no other woman in all 4 Gospels: daughter. That word does something the healing alone couldn't. For 12 years, she'd been defined by a condition: nameless, unclean, pushed to the edges of every room. In one word, in front of everyone who'd have crossed the street to avoid her, Jesus gives her back an identity that has nothing to do with her diagnosis. The healing fixed her body. The word restored her place. Maybe you know what it's like to be defined by one thing for so long that you forget there's more to you than that. A diagnosis, a failure, a label people around you stopped questioning years ago. Maybe you're still carrying it right now. That's exactly the kind of untouchable Jesus keeps walking straight toward. He didn't come to hand out miracles like tricks at a fair. He came to close the distance between people and the community they'd been shut out of. One touch, one word, one daughter at a time. So here's my question for you. What's the one part of your life you've quietly decided is too far gone to bring to Him? Tell me below. Because the same hands that touched a leper and stopped for a woman in the dust haven't stopped reaching. Not for her, not for you,